And now with all the latest this Thursday lunchtime, it's the ITV News.
Good afternoon. More than 100 properties have been damaged by a possible tornado in Greater Manchester as Storm Gerrit swept through the country. Thousands of homes are still without power and it's caused severe disruption on the road and rail networks. Large swathes of Scotland have seen heavy snowfall, as Olivia Guthrie reports.
Locals in Stalybridge, Greater Manchester are still unable to return home this afternoon after a suspected tornado ripped the roofs off their homes and knocked down walls. Police declared a major incident and are warning residents to stay away until structural engineers assess the significant damage to houses.
The wind was howling in really badly. Alarms going off on cars, and there's about 100 houses affected from Millbrook, which is about a mile down the road, all the way through into Carbrook here, and then obviously it hits the hills there and disappeared.
Those who remain have been confronted with devastation.
Somebody's roof in the garden, and this is the conservatory.
In Scotland, heavy snow forced the A9 to close temporarily, leaving motorists stranded.
We've been here for 3 hours now, stuck in the snow, along with hundreds of other vehicles by the look of it, stretching back to Aviemore in that direction.
Emergency teams are still working to restore power to thousands of homes which have been cut off. But they're warning blackouts could continue for the worst affected areas into tomorrow, after winds of up to 86 miles an hour brought trees down onto power lines, with one crashing into a train driver's cabin. Miraculously, though, no one was hurt. Delays and widespread cancellations on the rail network continue today, with flights and ferry services also reportedly affected. And more bad weather could be on the way.
There's probably going to be some further yellow warnings issued as we head closer towards the weekend, with some more wet and windy weather.
Despite a lull in the weather today, police are warning conditions remain hazardous, with blocked roads and flooding still a problem in many areas. Officials say anyone heading out should be extra cautious. Olivia Guthrie, ITV News.
And Ben Chapman is in Stalybridge for us this lunchtime. Ben, what's the latest?
Well, it is still tipping it down with rain here, but at least the wind seems to have stopped blowing. Police have described what happened here last night as a mini tornado, and certainly from some of the damage it has caused, it does seem to fit that description. But what really strikes you driving through this town is just how localised and concentrated the damage has been, because for every scene like this, other streets nearby where trees have come down, chimney pots have been blown off, there are huge great swathes of this town which seem to have been completely undamaged. What people have talked to me about when they lived through it last night at about 11:30, 11:45, was the noise that this event made. One resident describing it as being like a freight train outside their house. I've been speaking to the resident of this house where the roof has been almost completely blown off, a terrifying experience. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, and perhaps the greatest and most miraculous part of this event last night is that nobody here seems to have been injured.
Ben, thank you very much. A woman has appeared in court charged with murdering her 4-year-old son. Police were called to a house in East London last Wednesday where they found Kobe Makaria Dooley with stab wounds. His mother, Kezia Makaria, appeared at the Old Bailey this morning. And a murder inquiry has begun after a car ploughed into a crowd of people outside a house in Sheffield. South Yorkshire Police said a 46-year-old man died at the scene and numerous others were injured. One man has been arrested on suspicion of murder and another on suspicion of attempted murder. A new vaccine could reduce the number of babies being admitted to hospital with the RSV winter virus by more than 80%, potentially saving dozens of lives a year. The single-shot jab targets respiratory syncytial virus, which sees around 30,000 under-5s hospitalised every year. Charlotte Cross joins me now here in the studio. Charlotte, a significant breakthrough.
Well, Sharon, it's certainly being welcomed as such, yes. Now, every winter, RSV puts huge pressure on the NHS. As you mentioned, 30,000 hospital admissions and up to 30 baby deaths every year as well, just in the UK. Worldwide, it's said to cause around 100,000 deaths of children under the age of 5 every year. So anything which helps reduce those figures will be seen as a very positive thing indeed. Now, this study was carried out by 3 UK universities and it involved 8,000 healthy babies from the UK, Germany and France. Around half of them were given this new vaccine, nirsevimab, and the others received normal care. Now, of the group which received normal care, 60 babies did end up in hospital with RSV. Of the babies which received the vaccine, that was only 11 babies which ended up in hospital. So if you extrapolate those numbers to the kind of figures we were talking about a moment ago, you can see the potential to reduce the amount of babies suffering is enormous. Now, this vaccine is not yet available as part of a vaccination programme, but it has been approved for use in the UK, so that might change by the time we get to next winter.
Charlotte, thanks very much. Thank you. And finally from us, commemorative coins celebrating Sir Winston Churchill, Buckingham Palace and the RNLI have been unveiled by the Royal Mint. They're among 5 new designs celebrating key events and anniversaries taking place in 2024. A £2 coin will mark the 150th anniversary of the former Prime Minister's birth. And that's it from us this lunchtime. Nina Hossain is here with the evening news at 6:45. The news where you are is next from all of us here. Goodbye.